Well, ladies and gentlemen, can anybody be surprised about the information that you're about to hear? I mean, honestly, when I read this post from Veilguard, I got to be honest with you, I was like, you know what? That tracks, right? Like, all of this tracks, this makes sense. And it also makes sense that they tried to hide it all the way until the game's release, because apparently this person, Laura Kate Dale, which is most likely a dude considering the, profile picture, this is just how it goes. That's the rules. Apparently Laura has just got approval to say that they worked on Dragon Age the Veilguard as a consultant, and all they did was consult on queer and trans ideology.
Damn it! Every freaking time!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Laura Kate Dale, who has their Blue Sky account in their Twitter profile because, that's what they're trying to do, apparently consulted on Dragon Age the Veilguard and has written a ton of books that all have to do with trans ideology because, again, these people, this is all they are, right? This is their entire identity. This is like Laura's entire freaking world to be trans, and they turned it into a profit-making machine, at least for them anyway, not the companies that they work for, but for them. They get paid by the companies they work for, and the companies decide to lose money while paying them for this absolute garbage that they're trying to pass off as consultancy. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. And again, guys, it's very clear that the trans mafia is a thing, right? Because they have realized, certain people have realized, and most of them are, what they would call cis white people, which is basically regular white people. But the only difference is that they have decided, or they have realized, we can actually use this fake identity to profit in a way that we never would have profited otherwise as being our normal selves. Or, we can utilize this fake identity to push a message and control people and weaponize empathy and all that stuff. We can do this with this fake ass identity. Let's do it. Let's weaponize it. And as more people did it, other people who want to be grifters decided to jump on that as well. And then before you know it, the trans mafia exists. So it says in their bio, accessibility, which again is a thing, life is strange, double exposure, queer consultant, because, clearly we need queer consultants, accessibility, did that twice, author, WIG Awards Journalism Impact winner. Now, again, I don't know what a WIG Awards Journalism Impact is, but I gotta imagine you don't have much impact. If I were to actually see the sales of your books, it's probably not that great, if I had to guess, and it doesn't really take much. Like, you guys don't reward each other based on your, success. You reward each other based on your identities. That's what you do. So I can't imagine you're very successful, but you're successful enough in order to be able to support yourself, which, hey, props to you. That's great. So Laura just posted this on Twitter, which I found very interesting. And again, shout out to Veilguard. She caught this, and that's where I got the post from. And it says, I just got approval to say this. Now, the fact that you even need approval to say that you worked on a video game as a consultant tells me everything I need to know. You know what I mean? In terms of what BioWare is trying to hide. If BioWare didn't want people to know about Laura's consultancy up until the game's release or the very, very, very end, that tells me that they're trying to obviously hide it, and they know they can hide it at the end because obviously she's in the credits, he's in the credits, whatever this thing is, he's in the credits, and the people are going to find out no matter what anyway. So Laura finally got approval to say this, and then he says, I worked on Dragon Age the Veilguard. Yay, I've been set on this secret for nearly 4 years, and I'm so excited to finally be able to tell everyone that I'm in the credits. Thank you so much to Patrick Weeks for reaching out to me to get me involved. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, Laura sat on this secret for 4 years. 4 years, which shows you that these people know that they don't want to be caught being involved, right? They want to keep it quiet until the very end because they don't want to give bad press to the video game that they're working on. They don't want to do it until the very, very end. They want to be able to fool as many normies as possible. By waiting until the end, that means that the news cycle will be a day or two slow, which means that when the game comes out around the time that they waited to announce this, normies are going to buy this game without realizing they're buying a trans agenda ideology game. That's literally what this shit is at this point. Then Veilguard says the queer consultant who worked on Dragon Age the Veilguard has an interesting story as an author, that's for sure. Now, when you click the second image, this is where it gets a little bit weird, right? If it gets a little bit strange. And I mean, even for me who's been on the internet for quite a while, it still gets a little bit weird. So this is the books that they've worked on, right? Dale has published 5 books. His first book is Things I Learned from Mario's Butt. What the fuck? A series of gaming butt critiques, which was funded on the crowdfunding website Unbound in 2018. Okay. I was not expecting that, to be honest with you. That one took me by surprise. Okay. His second book, a memoir called Uncomfortable Labels, My Life as a Gay Autistic Trans Woman, was published by Jessica Kingsley Publishers in 2019. So we got Mario Takes It in the Ass for book number 1, and then we got I'm an Autistic Trans Woman for book number 2. We're starting off strong, boys. We're starting off strong. This is good. This is good stuff. You know, I find it interesting how a lot of the trans community is also autistic. I feel like there is an interesting link there that needs to be studied, right? It needs to be really, really, really studied, because I think that we are weaponizing autistic people to use them for ideology purposes. And by we, I mean these psychopaths. And it's quite unfortunate because we should be helping them in any way we can. But instead, they're just trying to validate whatever might be going wrong in their mind. And it's just really sad to see. It really is. And then he says his third book, Gender Euphoria, Stories of Joy from Trans, Non-Binary, and Intersex Writers, which was crowdfunded through Unbound and exceeded its funding goal, was published in 2021. It was intended as a counterpoint to the focus so often placed on the negative aspects of being trans, such as gender dysphoria, and was instead written to show the world a sheer variety of ways being non-cisgender can be a beautiful, joyful experience. So we got 3 identity-based books, okay, from a person whose entire personality is their identity, who consulted on a video game that makes everything about their identity. Anybody seeing the connection here? I mean, like, this is obvious shit at this point, right? This is why these people are a joke, and they're going to constantly infiltrate themselves more and more and more because these studios are so damn stupid, and they're actively hiring these people. But let it be clear, the only reason why we have so many psychopaths on this particular video game, and it's not just because of one particular person, but I think it does heavily lean into it, is the fact that the director of this game is Corin Bush, who is also a trans person. Anybody shocked at that? Corin Bush was one of the people who advocated and helped get trans scars into The Sims. Now this is the second game with trans scars, and it happens to feature the same person at the helm of this game, Corin Bush. The correlation is there. It makes you wonder, right? It makes it very obvious that Corin Bush has an ideology that they're going to push in all of their video games. And this is just another one. So Corin Bush hiring a bunch of trans queer activists who are trying to pass themselves off as authors, you know, it's not that shocking. We can see it. You can see the writing on the wall, which again is why when people are like, well, you didn't play the game, you don't know, you can see patterns. And this is a pattern. I think it's insane to ignore obvious patterns that are in your face. And this is one of them. Dale's fourth book, Who Hunts the Whale, is co-written by her wife, Jane Magnet, and being funded through the crowdfunding publisher Unbound. Who Hunts the Whale is Dale's first work of fiction. Yeah, and then Dale's last book, Me and My Dysphoria Monster, is a children's picture book about the experience of gender dysphoria in childhood. Wow. So now we're just targeting kids. Interesting. That doesn't help the message there. So again, shout out to Veilguard for this find. Very, very interesting stuff. And I'm not shocked at all that they tried to keep it hidden up until the very end. This game is going to be an absolute clusterfuck, and I'm sure it's going to sell. I don't think it's going to sell very well, but I think it's going to sell. Making its money back, though, that's a whole nother conversation. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.